Hey folks, Troubletcat here recording for the Zombie Arcade. You're watching Meet the Weapon, and man, this video was a pain in the ass to record. I was trying to do a live commentary, and I had to record that like 5 or 6 times because I kept having issues with the recording. I finally got this game, which I was pretty happy with the commentary, pretty happy with how the game went, but unfortunately I wasn't actually recording my voice. I know I had all these recording issues and I somehow missed one of the more obvious things. It was fucking annoying. But anyway, here we are. Finally, doing a non-live commentary, unfortunately, but whatever. Not that big a deal. And so here we are again looking at the MTAR-21. This is sort of a... This is pretty much the only loadout I really use with this gun. I'm not a huge fan of this gun, as I mentioned in the Naked video, mostly because of the way it looks, although it's a very effective weapon. I'm using a heavy barrel, a foregrip, and a holographic sight. And the idea behind this is basically to make the gun a bit more effective at medium range, since... I mentioned in the Naked video, this is a very effective gun at close range, but it sort of loses out at further distances because it's not hugely accurate, and it can be a little bit unruly, a little bit hard to control. So, the idea behind this loadout is to make it a bit better at those kinds of medium ranges that you're more frequently at, because, I mean, unless you're, constantly playing Metro, Sane, Bazaar servers, or close quarters servers, or whatever, you're not always going to be in close quarters gun battles. You're going to want to be a bit stronger at medium range, especially if you're on a map like this on Caspian Border, and this happens to be, your gun that you love. You're going to want something that's a bit more balanced. It's not only going to be good at close quarters, but you're also not going to want to sacrifice the natural strengths of the gun. So, the idea behind this is basically you shove on the heavy barrel there to make it a lot more accurate at distance. I've got the foregrip on there to make it a little bit easier to control. The recoil can be a little bit unruly on this gun, especially with the heavy barrel. And I mean, you know that, or you should know that the foregrip does reduce your aimed accuracy a little bit. But with a heavy barrel on there, you've still got much, much higher accuracy than if you have no attachments, even if you also have a foregrip in addition to your heavy barrel. So, I mean, the gun ends up being quite accurate with a heavy barrel, even if you also get a foregrip on there, and it makes it a bit easier to control, so that's how I like to rock this one out. And the holographic sight is sort of a really good sight that... the holo sights are really good sights, I find, just because they're decent at medium range. They're not so good at long range, but they're good at medium range, and they're good at close range, because they don't have a huge amount of zoom, but they do have a little bit more than iron sights or red dot sights for your medium range shooting. And you aim down sights very, very quickly with the holographic sight, unlike sights with more zoom, which take a little bit longer to aim down sights. So, you've got a holo sight, which is going to be good at a variety of ranges. You've got your heavy barrel on there and your foregrip to make the gun a bit more effective at medium range, where it's initially weak. And you find that the gun still performs very well up close. You've got a sight that is decent at close quarters, and the hipfire accuracy, even with heavy barrel on there, is pretty decent. So, this ends up being just a really good, sort of solid all-around loadout. It's not going to do you very well at long ranges, but sort of short to medium range, excuse me, you're going to be absolutely fine with this one. And assuming you can keep the thing on target, keep control of the recoil, which you should be able to, you can kill very, very quickly with this, anywhere up to 50 meters, even out past that, just because of the absurd rate of fire, even though the damage per shot isn't that high. So that pretty much covers this loadout and why it kicks a lot of ass. We're gonna stay in here, watch the rest of the game. You'll see just how dope it is. I think I died horribly here. I don't seem to remember. No, I got a few more kills. You can see here, I'm using the G17C for my pistol at the moment. I wanted to talk at some point, and I guess now is a reasonable time, a little bit about what I think of the handguns in the game. I sort of, lately I've been really liking the 9mm, but I sort of go through phases with what I like. Sometimes I'll use the MP412 Rex for a while, other times 44 Magnum, sometimes I use the auto pistols for a long time. I sort of tend to come back to the 9mm again and again, though, as being just the best sort of solid all-around pistols, because I basically split the handguns in this game into 3 categories. You've got the auto pistols, the 93R and the G18. You've got the 44 Magnum, which sits kind of by itself as like a long-range focused pistol. It's almost a fucking sniper rifle, but as a sidearm. And then you've got the MP412 Rex, the 1911, the MP443, the G17, and the M9, all of which are sort of medium, sort of more balanced pistols. They're good at medium, up to medium range, which is about the furthest any pistol's good to, aside from the Magnum, and they're good up close as well. A lot of times I favor the 1911 because it has a lot more stopping power up close, or the MP412 Rex, which has even more stopping power up close, but I tend to come back to the 9mm because although it takes one more shot to kill at close range, they actually do better damage over distance than the 1911 does. Not than the MP412 Rex, but than the 1911. And I don't like the iron sights on the MP412 Rex anyway. I hate using that thing at distance because you're fucking aiming with a giant rectangle. It's a pain in the ass. The 9mm pistols are really good at distance compared to the 1911, I find, because they do a bit more damage. They have a bigger clip size is probably the main thing, though, so you can sort of spam on there a lot. That was a really horrific double kill. I don't know what happened to the second guy. The 9mm, I just find they have a bit more damage at medium range, and their sort of spamability compared to the 1911 makes them a little bit easier to use, particularly the G17C with its laser sight on there makes it really accurate from the hip. It's just a really good pistol. I ran out of ammo on my... if you're wondering why I picked up this kit when I'm meant to be showing you the fucking MTAR, it's because I ran out of ammo on my MTAR. I had 4 bullets left, so I picked up this L85A2, used this. I think I only got 1 kill with it and then died, but... I wasn't just gonna sit there and not have a weapon with bullets in it to shot from the gun. That'd be silly. Need my ass handed to me by a scar there. So, I mean, I guess there's a lot of different arguments. I guess I'd say my advice on picking a handgun would be either choose something that's going to be good for the map. Like, basically, if you know you're on a close quarters map, just take the 93R. Otherwise, I'd say take a 9mm or the 1911 or the MP412 Rex in most situations. And if you're rocking out something that has no kind of ranged capabilities, say you're using a shotgun with buckshot, then you might consider taking the 44 Magnum so that you're not shit out of luck at medium to long range. As a general rule of thumb, M9, MP443, or the G17C is going to serve you reasonably well in any situation, which I think is why I generally just prefer the 9mm pistols to the other handguns a lot of times, and why I keep coming back to them is the fact that they just have this sort of really well-rounded nature, and the fact that you're never shit out of luck. You're never sort of really, really uncomfortable, no matter what range the enemy is at. If you have to pull your 9mm out, you're gonna be able to, you know, I mean, it's not gonna be as effective as a rifle or whatever, probably, but you're gonna be able to do okay with for yourself. Whereas, you know, if they're close to you, pulling out the Magnum always feels a little bit awkward. If they're far away, rocking out with a G18 is, again, really awkward. 9mm are fine at, like, any distance. It's pretty dope. Same goes for the 1911, but I don't know. Lately I've just been preferring the 9mm, I guess. I suppose. And I should have called this map Caspian Hill Dar. Yeah! No, actually, that'd be an incredibly stupid name for a map. But, I mean, I guess I'd say the main thing is just choose whatever you're comfortable with. On a related note, I think that's the reason the M16A3 is a little bit OP, is that, it's true that it gets beaten at long range or at short range by certain other rifles and stuff like that. It's situationally, other weapons are better than the M16. But the fact that with the M16A3, you're never shit out of luck, you're always going to have a decent gun for the situation, even if you won't often have the best gun for the situation, just makes the M16A3 a little bit more powerful than it should be. I think they're adding more recoil to it in the next patch, which seems like an appropriate change. To be honest, I think increasing the reload time would be a good change to make to it as well. It reloads ridiculously fast, but I don't know. I guess that doesn't really make it that much harder. It makes it a little bit not quite as good at close range. It makes it sort of more pushing it towards a medium to long range weapon. I guess adding more recoil hurts it sort of equally at all ranges. I mean, more at long distance, but it's still sort of a detriment up close. So, I mean, I guess adding more recoil is a sensible change, if that is what they're doing, which is what I've heard. I do think that, I think the weapon balance is a lot better now than it was on release. The M16 is maybe a little bit overpowered. It's nothing compared to what the UMP was in beta, or F2000 on release was horrendous. Horrendously overpowered. Nonetheless, I was furious about this. I'm actually getting shot by a jet here, a really, really terrible jet pilot who could barely hit me. And he brought me down to 72%, which apparently disabled the Humvee. I think cars disable at 75% health. which is just a huge pain in the ass that they actually get disabled so rapidly. I don't know, it seems kind of weird to me. Because, I mean, obviously, to reflect the additional squishiness of the vehicle, it takes damage faster, and it takes damage from things that don't damage tanks and stuff like that. I don't understand why you both need it to be more squishy in terms of taking more damage and more squishy in terms of disabling almost immediately. It makes Humvees and Vodniks really, really awkward vehicles to use, because, I mean, the last thing you want to do is actually have to get out and, like, repair your Jeep. You know, they're not assets valuable enough to get repairing them, and you can't sort of... A Humvee can't defend its engineer in the same way that a tank can. So, I don't know. I really wish Humvees and Vodniks got disabled at, you know, 40% health instead of 75%. Maybe that's just me. The Vodnik in general is just a terrible fucking vehicle. The Humvee, you're generally pretty safe when you're inside it, unless the doors get blown off. In which case you can just get shot through where the doors used to be. The Vodnik doesn't have bulletproof glass, so you can just shoot the driver out of it, which you can't do to the Humvee. And also, Vodnik crews seem to get killed by grenades a lot more easily. Like, if you toss a grenade under a Vodnik, sometimes you'll kill crew members. In fact, I've got quad kills by throwing grenades under Vodniks before. I mean, the Vodnik was fine. It might have been damaged a little bit, but everybody inside died. And that doesn't seem to happen so much with the Humvee. I don't know. Weird. I guess the Vodnik can go in water, which is an advantage the Humvee doesn't have. I don't know, guys. Vehicle balance is something that I guess I don't know that much about. I'm more an infantry-focused player, I suppose. There are just some things about the vehicles that seem odd to me, particularly the lighter vehicles. Getting shot in the ass there pretty horrifically, but... Yeah, anyway, MTAR-21, pretty dope loadout I've been using here. I hope you sort of got to see... I got a variety of kills and a variety of different ranges. I haven't really used it at long range at all. I mean, as a general rule of thumb, you're going to want a single shot with it at long range. It's not, you know, that controllable or that accurate, even with this loadout, that you can sort of full auto people at a distance like you can with the ACWR or the SCAR-L. But not too bad, really, at range. Just better up close. There's some bullshit hipfire there, but I mean, you can sort of see that. As I said, the hipfire accuracy is still decent even with this loadout, and it does have quite a lot more killing power at medium ranges. So I think we're getting right towards the... Oh no, we still armed the last bomb. Gotta fill more time. I thought we were closer to the end of the video than we were. What a shame. What a rotten way to video. Sorry I haven't been keeping to the live stream schedule I set out particularly well, by the way, for those of you who are interested in that kind of thing. I've been making a bit of an effort. I've been kind of busy the past 2 days. I've been trying to stream every day, but I don't know, my sweep schedule is really messed up. It's been making things difficult for me. I'm trying to fix it, but whatever. We'll get there in time. In time. At least I'm managing to get the YouTube videos out with a fairly regular consistency. Anyway, that's the end of this match, guys. Let me know what you thought of the video. I did okay for myself here, I guess. Not quite a 2KD, but we'll let it slide. We'll use this one anyway. I think I got about 56,000 points here because double EXP is pretty dope. Not that XP has any meaning to me at all anymore, but anyway, until next time, Troubletcat out.